Our big get this week is Matt Barrie of ESPN. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, hey, happy to be here. It is my favorite sports week of the year, even with all the college football stuff that I do. I love coming here to the Masters, 13th time, and I would imagine we're in store for something special, but happy to be here to talk about it with you.
Yeah, first major of the season. It's the 17th year that ESPN has had live early round play. And you're going to be on the grounds once again at Augusta National, serving as a Sports Center anchor. You're often on the road, like you said, during the course of the year at various football sites. What is the feel of doing this show from Augusta National compared to some of those other locales you hit?
Yeah, it's completely different, right? Because as you guys know, the college football atmosphere, it's chaotic. It's chaos, it's loud, it's marching bands, it's pageantry. Whereas when you come here to Augusta National, we're here now, it's kind of it's a no cell phone, refined, quiet, well-behaved crowd. And then they know what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. It's sports greatest reunion because every year it's the same players that get the same invites, with the exception of a couple of people that have played their way in. But it really is that kickoff, in my opinion, to the spring sports season. We had the national championship on Monday, and now you get Masters Week and the first major championship of the weekend. And bringing it here is just different because you're talking about really the biggest golf tournament in the world, and it's the perfect way to start major championship season. And so it's a different kind of sports center because it's golf focused, it's showing highlights, it's going to press conferences. But again, it shows the enormity of this event and ESPN's franchise news and information show and Sports Center to be here and be doing Sports Center at the Masters. I mean, it's great to bring the show here annually.
Well, Tiger Woods is going to tee it up again this year. I don't think it's a surprise to any sports fan that an event with Tiger is way different than one without him. But even at a storied event like the Masters, based on your experience over the years, what's the vibe at Augusta with versus without Tiger in the field?
Here's what it is with Tiger, and I've told everyone this. There's a different hum and buzz when Tiger's on the grounds. That's just the way that it is. I remember when he had missed a couple of Masters, when he had missed some time, and when he was out of golf. It was still a great tournament, but it didn't have the buzz. But you always knew when Tiger showed up. You always knew. You always know what it's like when he's here. There's just a different vibe when he's on the driving range, in the practice area. Yesterday, he was out early, walked the front nine with him and Will Zalatoris. And we're talking Monday at the Masters, early in the week, and there was a tournament-sized group of patrons. I mean, it was insane. And so he still is the needle. He's the only needle. He's been the needle. He will continue to be that way. He's out on the course early this morning. Freddie Couples and Justin Thomas, who he plays his customary Tuesday round with. But it's different, and that's the one thing I think we'll all miss when Tiger stops playing competitively, because there's tournaments with Tiger, there's Masters with Tiger, and there's Masters without, and the Masters with, or there's something to behold.
On the business side of golf,
Yeah.
like this time last year at the Masters, there was a lot of talk about the PGA Tour versus Live and that circuit's emergence. And perhaps there was some intrigue. But now, like a year later, do you get the sense that this feud may be hurting golf fandom?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's hurting golf, and the numbers show it. I mean, ratings tell stories, right? And the ratings are down. And that's because I think a lot of golf fans, one, probably are a little bit tired of what's going on in the world of golf. But two, if you're just being realistic with everyone, it's not the best players in the world teeing it up every week. I mean, there's a number of them that are out there. The Scotty Schefflers, Xander Schauffele, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Tony Finau, Wyndham Clark, Hideki Matsuyama. They're out there, but there's also a lot of major championship winners playing on Live. And this event this week, the ratings will be through the roof. Why? Because this is the first time this year that the Live guys and the PGA Tour guys will coexist at a major championship. So you can say wholeheartedly that this is now the best field in golf. And fans want that. They want to see the best of the best week in and week out. And there's going to be an inflection point in the sport where both sides are going to have to figure it out. I just find it odd and bizarre watching golf this year and not seeing John Rahm, and not seeing Brooks Koepka and Cam Smith, and these guys that went over there. And so there is going to have to be a decision at some point, because just being around golf and being around golf fans, they're tired of it. And there has to be some resolution at some point.
Something your network's going to be involved with. It was supposed to start this year. It'll start next year. Is the TGL? Do you think that that sort of effort is something that can bring younger viewers into golf?
I think it's the right approach. I really do. Because that's going to be everything that I've learned about it and know about it. It's going to be a very interactive and video game like simulator setting. And what's been the task for golf forever? Well, grow the sport, grow the game. Well, how do you do that? And sometimes it's not easy to get out to a golf course. It's not cheap to get out to a golf course and get golf equipment. Simulators, video games, virtual reality, everything in between seems to attract a younger audience. So if you can get a younger audience attracted to something like that with the names that'll be attached, I'd say it's a really, really good start to keep growing the game. When we see it with these top golfs and in Tiger Woods and his miniature golf setups, I mean, these are great avenues to get the game out there. Yeah, and I think this is going to be one once it's built and goes in 2025. There's going to be a lot of curiosity when it launches, and then when people watch, they'll look like, actually, that's pretty cool. And so I hope it does because I love this game, I love this sport, and I just want to see it continue to get bigger.
So, Matt, what are your favorite traditions when you get to Augusta every year?
I got here on Sunday. ESPN gets his houses, and I go to the house and I just kind of unpack for the week, just so I know that everything's set up for the week in terms of like being ready to go. Monday's a big walk day for me. I did some Sports Center yesterday, but it's really a day for me to get back out to the course, walk it, see it, catch up with the players that I haven't seen in a while, and kind of just lay the foundation for the week. I just love being out there. I've been here so many times, but every time I see the course, it's like seeing it for the first time. And so I go do that on Mondays. Today, Tuesday, I'll do the practice show, the practice round show on ESPN Plus from 12 to 2. And then I'll go out and walk some more. I've got something with Scotty Scheffler this afternoon. And so really Monday, Tuesday is about walking the course, seeing if anything's changed, seeing the changes that were made, just kind of soaking it all up. Once you hit Wednesday, it starts getting pretty busy, 12 to 3 Sports Center, par 3 contest. And then Thursday, it's go time. And so early in the week, I like to immerse myself in it as much as possible. So then once the tournament starts, I feel like I didn't leave anything unturned. I talked to the players I wanted to talk to. I saw the holes I wanted to see, and we can go from there.
Well, I got to ask you a couple of non-golf questions.
Yeah.
You spent a number of years as a radio anchor in Columbia, South Carolina. Did you ever foresee this Gamecocks women's basketball team becoming the blue blood of women's hoops that they have now become?
Yeah, I worked at the CBS television station out there in addition to radio, and the focus of local sports for us at the time was Steve Spurrier, because he is a legend in college football, and he was starting to turn that program around. But as I was leaving in 2008 to go to the NBC station in Dallas, Dawn Staley was hired, and she came in, not an experienced coach. We knew she was an Olympian, and everyone's excited to see what she could do. And now 15 years later, I mean, she's built the preeminent program in women's college basketball. And she didn't have this many titles yet, but she's basically taken what Gino did up north in UConn and brought it down south. And it's a dominant program that I was just talking to some of the Columbia, South Carolina people yesterday, that it's the most reliable championship sport that they have right now. And the fans love it. And they pack Colonial Life and they cheer them on. And she's just been a complete difference maker. And she's one of those that she can stay there as long as she wants and keep winning championships and make that thing the dynasty that it already is. And so I'm so happy for my Columbia people. I remember when Spurrier led in the 3 consecutive 11-win seasons, and that was thought of as a great accomplishment. Ray Tanner back in the day used to lead the baseball team to College World Series, but to the reliability that is Dawn Staley and the women's basketball team to compete and win championships is something that they value there.
Yeah, they look so good on
the
Sunday afternoon for that game. Just a dominant force.
Yeah.
Last question, Matt. You're a Scottsdale, Arizona native. Excluding your alma mater in the Arizona State Sun Devils, what team or event would you consider the marquee sports attraction in Phoenix right now?
I would say, so for excluding Arizona State, I think the Waste Management Phoenix Open has grown into the event that people mark on their calendar to go to Arizona for. The Arizona Cardinals had a run under Ken Whisenhunt and Bruce Arians. The Arizona Diamondbacks had won a World Series. They were back in the World Series a year ago. Phoenix Suns, like that was the team of my youth. It was the only pro sports team we had at the time growing up out there. But the one event that I know for a fact that people put on their calendar to go visit is the Phoenix Open out there at TPC Scottsdale. And there was 2 years ago, and it coincided with the Super Bowl. And so you had Super Bowl chaos, you had Phoenix Open chaos, and it's that one event. Now it got a little out of hand last year, and I think they're going to do a good job of trying to rein it in a bunch. But I know as being born and raised in Scottsdale, and being from Arizona, that's the one event that everyone wants to talk to you about because it's really unique, than any other golf event that we have.
Yeah, I heard from a lot of sports business executive that weekend going to the PGA Tour event, going to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
We'll let a
yeah.
lot of those stories stay in Arizona.
That's probably where they belong. I just hope, look, the popularity of the tournament amongst the players, it can go up and down because they understand what they're getting into. But it's such a good week for the area. I think there's a way to have fun and have the reputation you want, but not let it get out of hand like it did this year.
Well, Matt Barrie, we hope you enjoy the week in Augusta. We very much appreciate you taking the time to join the SBJ Sports Media Podcast.
You bet, guys. Anytime. Happy to be on.